Hello everyone, InfoSec Pandey here. Welcome back to day 9 of the SOC Analyst 100 Days Learning Challenge. Now, if you have been following along, you already know that being a SOC analyst is like being a digital firefighter. But today, we are going to look at what that firefighting process actually look like, step by step from moment an alert pop up on your screen to the moment the fire is out, system are back online, and lessons are learned. So this is the security operations workflow. Triage to response sounds fancy, right? So don't worry, by the end of this, you will see it is basically just organized detective work with a touch of firefighter energy. What we will cover in this lesson. So we will discuss why workflow matters, the SOC workflow, triage to response, then step 1 detection and alert generation, step number 2 triage, step number 3 investigation, step number 4 containment, step number 5 eradication, step number 6 recovery, step number 7 lesson learned and reporting, and then wrapping it up. All right, so first question, why do we even need a workflow? So picture this, your SIEM suddenly throws 300 alert at you in one morning. So without a workflow, you are basically running around like, oh no, hackers everywhere, total chaos. But with a structured workflow, you will have a clear path, detect, triage, investigate, contain, eradicate, recover, then learn from it. So this keeps you calm, efficient, and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. So the security operation workflow is the step-by-step process your team follows to identify, analyze, respond, and recover from security incident. So think of it like a fire drill, except instead of extinguishing flames, you are putting out cybersecurity fire. So it is essential to handle security incident efficiently and in an organized manner because every second counts. So without a solid workflow, things can quickly become chaotic. So which means longer recovery time, missed threats, and potentially greater damage. So think of it like a hospital emergency room. You don't treat a paper cut before the heart attack patient, right? Same logic here. So we have discussed here why workflow matter. Security incident equal to cyber fires. A structured workflow ensures faster detection, better prioritization, and reduced damage. Every second counts. So without workflow chaos equal to longer downtime and bigger losses. All right. So here we have SOC workflow, triage to response. So the SOC workflow the SOC workflow has 7 stage: detection, alert, triage, assess severity, investigation, containment, eradication, recovery, lesson learned, and SANS incident response process having 6 major process, which includes the preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, lesson learned. So we will go through them one by one, and I will give you simple real life style example. So it is not just theory. All right. So step number 1, detection and alert generation. So everything start with detection. Your tool throws alert whenever something fishy happens. So SIM says, hey, too many failed logon from one account. EDR says this endpoint is running a weird PowerShell script. IDS IPS says suspicious traffic on port number 4444, which looks shady. Threat intel says heads up, attackers are exploiting this new vulnerability. So the goal here is to spot suspicious activity early. For example, imagine your doorbell rings at 3 a.m. That's your SIEM alerting you. The question is, was it just your cat or Is it someone trying to break in? So that's what the next step triage is for. So once an alert comes in, it is time to jump into triage mode. So let's go on the triage. Step number 2. So assessing the situation. So this is where the rubber meets the road and your skills as a SOC analyst truly shine. So triage is all about prioritizing alert based on their severity and potential impact on the organization. So triage is basically alert sorting. So you are asking, should I freak out or is this just noise? So you're going to check, is this a true positive or false positive? So sometimes an alert is a result of legitimate action, such as system update or a new application installation. Other times it could be a sign of real threat. How critical is it? So you need to decide whether this alert is low, medium, or high priority. So high priority could mean an active attacker in the environment or evidence of data exfiltration. Low priority could just be a system misconfiguration or a harmless network anomaly. What assets are affected? So is the alert tied to a critical server or is it a workstation on less important network? Critical systems should always get immediate attention. So we need to prioritize alert based on the severity. So what are the triage process? So identify the alert source. Where did this alert came from? Is it coming from trusted source like EDR, SIEM, or IDS? Then verify the alert. Look for initial evidence that confirms or denies malicious activity. For instance, review system log, network traffic, or endpoint behavior. Determine severity. So, based on your finding, classify the alert as low, medium, or high risk. So, if you are handling multiple alerts, prioritize them based on urgency. A high severity attack that could cause a breach, like ransomware, gets top priority. For example, you receive an alert from your SIEM system that a user's account has made an unusual number of login attempts from a server. It could be a brute force attack or misconfigured script. So your job is to verify whether it is an attack, high priority one, or just an administrative mistake, the low priority one. So here you can see a flow. There are multiple hosts, and here we have our SIEM system, the cloud monitoring system, which triggers three alert: security alert, system health alert, and performance alert. So based on that, you can prioritize the alert. Then you can write the triage report. So this is what the SOC analyst plays a vital role. Next, we have investigation. So once an alert is triggered, it is time to investigate the issue in detail. So investigation is where you gather all the necessary evidence to figure out what happened, how it happened, or who or what is behind it. So think of this phase as detective work. So you will want to uh, review log. So use your SIEM, firewall log, EDR log, or any other data source to trace back the event. Did the attacker use a known IOC or any TTP like tactic, technique, or procedures you have identified from threat intelligence? Then analyze network traffic. So was there a unusual spike in outbound traffic or looks for suspicious IP address, port, or protocol? Then inspect your endpoint malware process registry keys. So if malware is involved, identify the process or file that trigger an alert and use your EDR tool to examine file hashes, running process, and registry keys. Then look for some other sign of compromise. So attacker often establish persistence in the system. Look for the unusual accounts, service, or scheduled task. For example, you see an alert that server connected to a unknown IP. So you dig into your firewall log and surprise, it was downloading a suspicious script at 2 a.m. So that's not normal unless your server has a secret night job as a Bitcoin miner. So here I have attached a snip from Microsoft Sentinel. So you can see an alert triggered here, and the IP involved in this alert, and the user involved, and what other alert triggered for this user. So this is how we can dig deeper and identify the suspicious activity. Next, we have containment. So once you confirm there is an active attack in progress, it is time to contain the threat. So you don't want to attacker to spread across your network or cause more damage. So you will need to limit the scope of the attack. So this phase is all about taking immediate action to stop further compromise. So containment method includes isolating compromised systems like disconnecting affected device from the network or quarantine them, then block the malicious IPs. So use your firewall or IPS system to block traffic from known malicious IP address or domains. Then stop malicious process using your EDR to kill the process that are part of your attack or potentially harmful. So you isolate the server that was compromised by disconnecting it from the network, stopping the malicious PowerShell script, and blocking the suspicious IP in your firewall. So this is how you can prevent the further damage or attack. So isolation is part of containment. Next, we have eradication. So after containing the threat, it is time to the cleanup phase, eradication. So this is where you eliminate all the traces of your attacker from your environment. So you don't want to leave any backdoor open or traces of the malware behind. So containment stop the fire from spreading, but eradication is about cleaning up the mess. So steps for eradication includes removing malware and a script. So use your EDR or antivirus tool to delete malicious file and remove any malware that may be lingering. And then restoring systems. So if systems are corrupted or compromised beyond repair, restore them from your clean backup. Then changing the passwords. So in case of credential theft, reset password for compromised account or systems. So for example, you remove the web shell installed by the attacker, clean up any malicious script, and ensure the server is fully restored from known clean backup. So you also change your administrator password that may have been compromised during the attack. So the next phase we have recovery. So once the systems are cleaned and any malicious files are eradicated, you move into the recovery phase. So this is when you bring the affected system back into production. But be careful, you don't want to rush back into things without making sure the threat is fully gone. So steps, monitor system closely. So after systems are restored, keep a close eye on them for any sign of recurrence or new threats. Apply patches. So make sure all systems are up to date and that any vulnerabilities used by attackers are patched. Test everything, verify the systems are functioning correctly before fully bringing them back into the network. And after ensuring your server is fully clean, you bring it back online. You apply any necessary security patch and then monitor it closely for any sign of suspicious activity. So it is like fixing your car after a breakdown. You don't just start driving, you test the brakes, steering, and engine first, right? Then the next one we have lesson learned and reporting. So the final phase of the workflow is all about learning from the incident. Once the attack is fully mitigated and systems are secure, take the time to review what happened. So this is your post incident analysis phase where you identify improvement to make in your process. Ask yourself what worked well, what failed. Did your alert triggered on time? Do we need new rules, playbooks, or training? So key activity includes like conducting a post-incident review, uh, what went well, what could be improved, where there are any gap in detection on response. Then document everything, like creating a detailed incident report outlining what happened, how it was handled, and what steps were taken to prevent future incidents. Then share your findings, educate your team and organization on the lesson learned and any process changes to enhance overall security. And for example, you hold a post incident debriefing with your SOC team to discuss how the attack unfolded, what tool were most helpful, and what could be improved next time. So based on your findings, you might suggest improvement to the network monitoring systems or more frequent employee security training to avoid similar attack in the future. All right, so we are wrapping it up. So that's the full SOC workflow: detection, triage, investigation, containment, eradication, recovery, lesson learned. So it is structured, repeatable, repeatable, and keep you sane when things go crazy. So remember, communication and teamwork are key here, and no one fights cybercrime alone, right? So the triage to response workflow is the backbone of any SOC operation. It is provide a structured approach to handle security incident, helping you detect issues early, contain threats quickly, and recover with minimal impact. So by following these steps, you can ensure that every threat is handled professionally and efficiently, reducing the overall risk to your organization. So remember, the key to a successful SOC is communication and collaboration. So whether it is communicating with your team during triage or documenting finding for a post incident review, you are all working towards the common goal of securing your organization from cyber threat. All right, your turn. How does your team handle incidents? Do you have a workflow, or is it more like chaos and coffee fueled panic? Drop your thoughts in the comment. If this breakdown helped you, smash the like button, share with your team, and don't forget to subscribe for day 10 of your SOC challenge. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious. Goodbye.